Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today what we're going to be doing in today's FPS tutorial series episode is add an enemy. As you can see around here, it's looking a little bit barren. So what we do need to do is add something up to spice it up, something that the player can actually kill, and an enemy that we can set up so then we can set up waves in the future, etc. So the first thing you want to do is go and grab assets for your character. Inside here I have all my assets that I need. So on this website called Mixamo, you have some great assets and characters that you can choose from. They've got a whole wide range of everything here, from cartoony stuff to real life characters. You've got zombies, you've got the person here that I was using. We've just got a lot of stuff that you can work with. So if you want assets I'm using, go over here and select whatever you want, and yeah, it'll be good. So back in the content browser, what I'm going to do is quickly add in blueprints. I'm going to add a folder and call this enemy underscore character, and inside this folder here I'll add a thing called mesh, because the mesh is quite a few files, so we don't want to take all that space in our blueprints and stuff like that. So as you can see here, it imported nicely. Make sure it looks okay, none of the bones are deformed or anything, just in case that happens. And yeah, as you can see, it's a pretty good mesh. Very good mesh. So next thing we want to do, we're going to create a folder called animation, and inside that folder I'm going to shift click all of these that I've selected. You'll do the same. You have to do the same, and then drag them into our content browser. And here where it says skeleton, and like we did with our FPS character, select the corresponding skeleton. So mine's enemy underscore cyborg underscore skeleton, and I'm just gonna import all, making sure that all of these are set to the things I have right now. These are the default settings. You don't want to have any of these mixed up, because you'll get some deformed stuff. So now here we have our idle animation, our running animation, and our walking animation. But first things first, what we've got to do is add a character blueprint so that we can place it in our world and we can make it do lots of good stuff. So I'm going to name this cyborg, and in here I'm just going to, on the mesh here, I'm going to go into my mesh, enemy cyborg, and use the trick of just going like that, and there we go. It pulls whatever the asset you had in the content browser into here. First things first, what we're going to do is retransform this to make sure it goes straight into the collision capsule, and just move it around to make sure that the front of the character is facing the arrow. That always helps. Compile, save, and now what we're going to have to do is add an animation blueprint, because we want to be able to show all those wonderful animations and such. So what I'm going to do is go into the animations part here, animation blueprint, enemy cyborg underscore skeleton, and I'm going to call this cyborg underscore anim BP. First things first, what we're going to do is add a state machine. I'm just going to rename this and call it movement. And then what we're going to do is go over to our character itself and look at their animation blueprint, because what we've got to do is take the code here, this bit of code here, the movement stuff that defines direction and speed, just quickly copy that and paste it in here like such. And what we're going to do, we're going to delete that there and quickly sort that into there. And then because these variables haven't been made yet, so you can do is right click on that and select create variable speed and direction. So yeah, now we have this sorted. What errors have we got? Movement is not connected. Okay, so we need an actual movement bit here. So we will create a state, and I'll call this idle. And inside this idle, I will put in idle aiming. Select that up. Perfect. Nice. Okay, so what we've got to do now is inside the cyborg, under the mesh, we need to select an animation blueprint. And what I'll do is do cyborg underscore anim BP. Do this, and now it should look pretty nice. It's got the idle animation showing. It's looking pretty good. Now what we got to do is make it so that we can add it goes to walking and running animations as soon as it sees the player. So first thing it says, we need to add the animations. So what we'll do, we'll add cyborg walking out here, add some conditionary rules back and forth, because obviously idle is our default and cyborg is like is temporary animation compared to idle. And then we'll put in the run animation as well, just so we can we do that later. So here, inside here, we'll do exactly what we did from the third person character, more than or equal to, and it's going to be 10 here, and hook that up there. And the same one for here, but just the inverse. So we want to get the speed. If it's less than or equal to, there we go. Compile, and now we need to do the same for here. Speed is more than or equal to 600 this time. Then we can enter. And if speed is less than or equal to 600, then we can enter the transitionary rule. Basically, that's what it means. Right, so now we have this perfectly set up. What we want to do is make it so that the AI can roam around the area and then go towards the player if they see the player. So first things first, we're going to need to add is a pawn sensing. Compile this, click on the pawn sensing, and now you'll see a bunch of circles, all different kind of circles. So what we're gonna be focusing on is the green circle. This is the sight radius, and what this does is basically it's the amounts of space it can see. It can see theoretically. So if the player goes in front of the seeing box, kind of, then you can trigger code out of that. So in the sight radius, I'm just going to set this to 280. We can change this later. And the peripheral vision angle, I'll set this to 45. So now as you can see, the vision is it's looking a lot better than just a whole wide thing where it can see everywhere almost. We have cut it down to just this little bit. I might actually cut that down to 35 instead. Nope, 35. And extend that to 320, like so. So now on C pawn, so this is once this has been triggered, when something comes across here, and the pawn being cast to third person character, then we want to use the AI move to, the AI move to, the pawn being self, and the destination being get actor location, the target actor being this, and the acceptance radius, so that's the amount of space in between the enemy and the player. So we want that to maybe be probably like 15 or 10. We'll put 15 for now. So now there we have it. We have our 8 that we can move to the player once we've seen them. But first things first, what we've got to do is actually add a thing called a navigation mesh, or just a nav mesh bounds volume. So and what this does, it maps out all the possible ways that the AI can get around, so then it actually has data, so then it can move around the map. So we're just going to scale this out, make it so that it covers the entire map, just like so. And then we'll leave that there. Now we'll grab our cyborg like so and plonk them in here, and we'll just put them here. So now when I play, he doesn't see me until he goes here, until I go here. Then now he wants to move towards me. Now I think what we'll do is we'll increase the sight radius just a tiny bit. We'll 500 maybe. That might help. You see there, he's trying to move to me. Here we go. Look, he's trying to move towards me. The animations aren't playing. I'll have a look at why that. Maybe I did the transitionary rules wrong. Okay, so I've found the fix to our problem. It turns out I've been casting to the third-person character, which is exactly not what we were trying to do the entire time. We were actually trying to cast to the cyborg. Remember to, if you're copying and pasting code, make sure you change your stuff so it fits appropriately. So now, when I click play, he should just run over to me just like so. That looks epic. This is really, really good. This looks really nice. I'm just going to go to this and make that 10. If you notice this looks different, I just, instead of doing it off AI I just did it off this and just clicked AI, move to, like so. And we can get rid of has seen, just like so. And there we have it. We have an enemy in our game that runs towards you if it sees you. In the next episode, what we'll be doing is setting up functionality for this. So it holds a gun, it can shoot, we can shoot it and kill it, and good stuff like that. So thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe and like. If you do like games design content, I would highly recommend you to subscribe, as that is what I do on this channel quite a lot of. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.